Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. Let's see, there you go. It's raining in Harvey's world today. I brought the camera out because I'm trying to figure out what to do with the Honda 300EX wiring harness, and I figured I'd take you guys along for the ride. So, you guys remember this bike? This is the Trailer Park Honda 300EX. It's probably somewhere around 2000, 1999, something like this. Anyway, I did get it running, but this thing has like the ultimate of hacked up and screwed up wiring harness. Right. And I took the wire harness off, and I can show that to you in a moment. I do want to mention one thing though, because it is important for the discussion. There are two wires here that go into the starter relay. And you noticed one is uncovered and one is covered. The uncovered one is where you would bring 12 volts DC into this. And this one is where ground will come into this. And the reason why is you unplug them, right? You unplug this. Should it somehow get grounded, you want it covered, right? Because power isn't coming from here, it's going to be coming from up here, the on and off switch. So that's why I know this is 12 volts, because when you unplug it, should it touch it like this, right, you don't get a short. So this is hot, and this will be ground. And I need both of those to make the starter go round and round, to engage that starting relay, which makes the starter go round and round. I pulled the wire harness off, and it is interesting, because I don't know how many of you folks have looked at these things in their full-length form. Obviously, this is the handlebar control on the left-hand side. Working your way down the harness. This used to be where the key switch was, the headlight, and the headlight was high and low, right? Plus, there was a neutral light and reverse light that came off of this. So this hacked up area, I'm going to have to spend a little time going through it to figure out what wire goes where. And not only did they hack it, but you got some tape action going on here, so I'm going to have to dope all that out. This does unplug, which is a good thing. Also, for you folks on the 300EX, there are two separate CDI units. This bigger CDI unit has an oscillator in it, so that when you put 12 volts DC in there, you get the oscillation, which allows you to build up bigger voltages. So when you send the signal out to your spark coil, you have enough voltage where you could get a spark from it. So that's kind of why it's bigger. There's probably some interlock stuff in there too. This smaller one runs off the stator, and it's a kind of a lower voltage unit. It's also set up so that it won't let you rev the engine all the way up. And what this is for basically reverse. You can see you got extra wires going into it. I'm getting rid of this. So I'm going to keep that and get rid of this area. This that's obviously a major ground, and these two wires go to your spark coil and give you your spark. These wires go into the engine, and I already doped these out a little bit. You got your pulse generator, your ground, and you got your stator voltage that runs this guy. These wires are interlock wires, which kind of give you, if you were looking at the dashboard, you know, your reverse light, your neutral light. And the way that works is you send power up to the light bulb, and assuming your key switch is on, there's power that comes up to the light bulb. There you go. And then what's going on is the engine provides ground for the neutral switch, it provides ground for the reverse switch, and in this case, for this bike, it's got an over temperature, it provides ground to that. So as you're messing around with this shifter, you're basically grounding one side or the other on these guys when the lights are supposed to be on. For the over temperature, there's a transducer elsewhere that tells you when your engine's too hot, and it'll fire up that light for you. When you first turn it on, it does a quick test, and then normally it goes off. Yep, there you go. So that's what that pile of wires does. And then as you go back here, right, you at some point you got to send 12 volts into this harness to power the lights up and the starting relay and do all those type of things. You got grounds, and I'm not quite sure what this other stuff is. Once again, I got to dope all this stuff out. How am I going to build my wire harness? I want to keep this. I want to put a key switch in it. And I actually, I want to set it up so that I have a neutral and a reverse light. That's kind of important to me. I kind of consider those important. And I also want to set myself up that I can't engage the starting relay. Right, this switch won't work unless I'm in neutral. Right, so I am going to have to figure out which one of these wires provides ground up into the headlight area, and also provides ground to the starting relay, such that I can, when I'm in neutral, I can fire up the starter. So I'm going to go with a part 1 because I got the wire harness off and I'm trying to figure out what I'm up to, and you know, part 2 is a bunch of doping things out, and I'll show you that the best I can. It's kind of hard to. It's going to be a little hard to teach somebody who's never done any electrical work, any work with a volt-ohm meter or any of that stuff, or continuity meter, on how to do this. But I will show you how I do it, and then hopefully if you find yourself in a similar situation, you could kind of figure it out. So, but let's go with part 1. Once I get that thing running properly, get it all put together, I'm then going to take it all apart and put it on this frame here. So that'll be a part 3 or 4. Anyway, folks, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. You're going to get the part 1. Part 2 will probably be probably within a week, hopefully 2 weeks. Depends how some other things go. I've got parts on order. I got front brakes on order for that guy. Oil filters on order for this guy. So, you know, depending on parts come in, I do want to finish putting that together. I do want to finish putting this together, including getting the plastic on it and getting it ready to go. So, you guys will see a few other projects interwoven. Alright, folks, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and please get out there and enjoy all your days. Take care now, folks. Bye.